You know, when I was a kid, my mum used to tell me, if you keep playing with your dongle, it's going to fall off one day. Well, I don't know where I'm going with that. In this video, I'm taking a look at the Hiby FC3 dongle DAC. What's cracking, audio fans? It's David here from Prime Audio Reviews, and I'm here with the little Hiby FC3. Now normally I don't do videos for these little dongle DACs because I mean there's not a whole lot to talk about in terms of the physical build for a start, that's for sure. But let's not get into that. I'm going to start off by telling you what comes in the box. First of all, obviously you get the FC3 unit there. It comes with a little pleather case that you can just slip on like so, which is pretty cool to protect your device. I'll leave that off for the moment. You get a USB Type-C charging cable. You get a USB to USB data cable. No, you don't get that. Actually, I've got to get straight into one of the cons of the FC3 here is that it doesn't come stock with a USB to Lightning cable or interconnect. So if you're an iPhone user, you're going to have to pay a bit extra. I think it's like 10 or 12 bucks extra for the interconnect here, and that's a bit of a bummer. Certainly an advantage for Android users, but really they should just include both. Even if they have to bump up the price a few bucks, it should be included in the box, in my opinion. Speaking of dollars and the price, the FC3 here is $69, so it's a sub 100 USB dongle DAC amplifier. Now it's got all your support for high bitrate files, like up to 32-bit 384 kilohertz. It's got DSD decoding up to DOP 128, as well as support for MQA unfolding, the last step of the unfolding, so you can listen to your MQA files on Tidal and Qobuz and whatnot. But let's have a quick look at the device now. So as far as the build goes, the Hiby FC3, it's a nice feeling little unit, feels solidly built. It's about the same size as your average dongle DAC or a USB drive. I think the finish on this looks better than the Beam 2 here, which is double the price. On this end you've got your USB Type-C port. On this end is your single-ended 3.5mm headphone jack. You got a little Hiby FC3 faceplate on the front, and on the back here is an LED indicator. And this lights up various colors depending on which bitrate or format you're playing through the device. Here we have the multi-function button, and I really like this. These other two both don't have any physical hardware buttons, and remember, these are both at least double the price of this one. So with the plus and minus button here, a single tap either raises or lowers the volume, and if you hold the button down, it will skip tracks or go back to the previous track. Another really cool thing that I love about the FC3 is the volume controls on the device here are independent of the source. So you change the volume here, it doesn't change the volume on your phone or your computer. I think that's pretty cool. Now I'll show you just how quick and easy it is to set up. First of all, you get your interconnect. In this case, I'm using the Lightning because I have an iPhone. Plug in your earphones to the jack there, and keep an eye on the LED here when I plug this into my phone. And there you go, you can see the lights changing color, and because there's no music playing, the light glows red. It also red when you don't have any earphones plugged in. So that's how easy it is to set up. I just thought I'd show you that. And so that pretty much leaves us just down to talking about the sound. Now, how does the Hiby FC3 sound? Well, I'll tell you what, I noticed something different about this one compared to the other ones that I have. as soon as I listen to it. And by the way, yes, I do have more dongle DACs, but I have a few at my office, stuck in my office, and I'm working from home at the moment, so I don't have access to them, which is the Low 2-Pore S1, the Kozoi Taxi, and another one, I think. Now this one sounds slightly different from the other ones that I have, and the reason being that this one is very neutral. It doesn't color the sound in any way. The Heavy FC3 is just neutral, and I really like that because it lets your transducers, in this case the Tri-Stasi, you get a really accurate idea of the tonality, natural tonality or tonal balance of your transducers, because there's no color coming from the DAC itself. So it's a very clean, very transparent sound. So I would call the FC3, I would neither call it musical or analytical, because it sits right in the middle. Like I said, it will sound like, to a lesser degree, the source that you're using, whether it be an iPhone or Android phone or a PC, might change the sound somewhat, but really you're hearing the default tuning of your earphones or headphones. Let's talk about the power output real quick. Now the single-ended output here does 70 milliwatts output left and right, and so it's not huge. It's pretty good in comparison with your general dongle DAC. It's about average, so it's really designed for in-ear monitors and efficient or easy to drive headphones. Don't go thinking you can plug in your 600 ohm Sennheisers and get a full-bodied sound out of it. It's not that kind of device. It's maximum portability. It's light on power. So just keep your expectations in check if you're thinking about getting something like this. Don't go overboard and you will have a good experience. Now, in terms of power draw, this one actually does pretty well. It actually draws less power than the Beam 2 here. And I didn't notice a great amount of drain on my phone battery. I was using it just yesterday when I was finishing my written review. I had it plugged into my phone for like 4 hours non-stop, and I saw very little change in the battery over that time, so it doesn't have a lot of power draw. But let's get back to the sound now. And you know, this little guy actually sounds really, really good. Now, I did try it with several things. Let's start with the Meze 99 Classics here. Still beautiful, of course. What a gorgeous headphone. And these are really efficient headphones. They're very easy to drive, so they're a perfect match for the FC3. Really very difficult to notice any difference between the FC3 and my desktop rig, except maybe a little bit of sub-bass oomph. But really, I would put that more down to the neutrality of the FC3 rather than a lack of power in the case of the 99 Classics here. So yeah, really nice, very clean sound. You get that nice bumpy bass. Actually, the 99 Classics are known to be a little bit boomy in the mid bass. So a DAC like this actually is a great pairing for that, because it tidies up that bass a little bit. You still get that nice fullness in the mid range. It's still got that that nice light treble, that slightly laid back treble, and that warm overall tonality, good detail, etc, etc. So great match with the 99 Classics. I did try the Hi-Fi Man Sundara, and these aren't especially hard to drive, although it is a planar magnetic headphone, but I found that it sounded pretty darn good on the FC3. Now I did notice the bass just lacking a little bit of oomph, so maybe not quite enough current to get the full experience out of the Sundara here. Now with the FC3 at the helm, these have plenty of volume, maybe not the most optimal sound experience you'll get from these, but definitely in terms of volume output, you won't be missing out here. So pretty good matchup, maybe not ideal, but definitely doable. And in here, I've got my M Fidelity SA50 custom in-ear monitors. Now these are a multi-BA unit. They've got 5 balanced armatures per side. Now normally multi-BAs are very easy to drive, but actually these have a fairly low sensitivity and kind of high impedance. I think it's 30 or 40 ohms impedance for these, and a low sensitivity of like what is it, 108, or is it lower than that? I don't recall. Check the written review. I've got the info in there, but they usually require pretty decent sort of a source. Like they don't sound good straight out of a phone. Something like the M2 Pro here from SoundAware, this can do it no problem, especially using the balanced output, but definitely not optimal for a phone. The FC3 does a great job with these. This is a really, really solid audio combo. This is high grade, high fidelity combo. Good to go. Take it on a bus ride. You will be amazed. So look, that about wraps it up, guys. I'm not going to go on forever about this. I'm not going to do comparisons with the other ones here, mostly because both of these are at least double the price of the Hiby here. If you want more details, I do have a brief comparison with the TAC C in my written review. Link to the written review in the description, along with links to my social media channels down there. If you have any questions or comments, leave them down below. And that about sums it up for this video, guys. So if you like this video, give it a thumbs up, PARFM audiophile style. And if you're new to the channel and you want to see more reviews like this in the future, go ahead and hit that subscribe button. And until next time, I'll see you later.